This is the world's most powerful company, one that controls almost the entire world. All of America's big banks, nearly all the major pharmaceutical companies, the entire mainstream media, and about 10% of all traded stocks globally are owned by this single company. In 2022, this company held assets worth $15 trillion, which equals around 70% of America's GDP. This company has become so powerful that even the world's top governments cannot make decisions without its consent. In fact, if I say that this company has a hand in every ongoing war and economic crisis today, I wouldn't be wrong. But you might never have heard this company's name before, and there's a big reason for that, which will become very clear to you by the end of this video. You'll also learn how this one company is trying to bring the entire world under its control, and how the consequences of that might be more dangerous than you could ever imagine. Larry Fink, the CEO of this company, might be the most powerful man in the world right now. So who exactly is Larry Fink? And how did he become so powerful that he and his company are directly or indirectly involved in almost every major event happening around the world today? Let's find out in this video. Larry was born in 1952 into a wealthy family in Los Angeles. It is said about Larry that he had always been hungry for power, which is why he began his career in politics. But he soon realized that real power doesn't lie in politics, but in money. So Larry left politics and in 1976 started his career in New York as a securities trader at an investment firm called First Boston. Within just a few years, Larry became the company's highest earning employee. He had an unstoppable drive to move forward and gain power. Larry understood investments like no one else did. In 1986, he resigned from First Boston and became a member of a secret society called Kappa Beta Phi. Only the world's top bankers, investors, and politicians can become members of this society. How Larry became a member is something we don't know. But about 2 years later, in 1988, Larry laid the foundation for the company that over the next 35 years would become the world's largest and most powerful company. Within just the first 5 years, BlackRock's value grew from $5 million to $8 billion. But this was just the beginning. A bomb was about to go off that would make BlackRock richer than anyone could have imagined. In 2008, a financial crisis hit that shook the entire world. Stock markets crashed, banks defaulted, and millions of people lost their jobs. But Larry was already prepared for this crisis. 8 years earlier, he had invested heavily in mortgage-backed securities. So, while the economies of the world were collapsing, BlackRock's reserves grew into the trillions. And not just that, Larry used his connections to sign a contract with the American government, which handed BlackRock ownership of all the defaulted banks. This opened the door for Larry to realize his dream of ruling the entire world. Over the next 10 years, BlackRock became America's largest asset management company, and today, BlackRock owns shares in every major industry, whether it's media, banks, oil, or weapons manufacturing companies. On top of that, BlackRock is also the biggest investor in all the big tech and social media companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter, and Amazon. In simple words, this means that none of these companies can make any decisions without BlackRock's approval. On another front, BlackRock has developed a program that analyzes all investments that could bring it future profits. This program is called Aladdin. Right now, Aladdin manages assets worth $20 trillion worldwide. $20 trillion, that's about the entire GDP of United States. This raises the question that how does this program predict the future so accurately? The answer is that Aladdin has access to the personal data of everyone connected to the banks, media, pharma, and oil companies in which BlackRock has invested. This data is so vast that predicting what will happen in the economy is not that difficult for the software anymore. In fact, some experts even say that BlackRock plays a huge role in creating these crises because it already knows through its analysis how much profit it will make from any crisis. Now, if you're wondering why you or most people know so little about BlackRock, the reason is simple. BlackRock doesn't want anyone to know anything about it. Although about 90% of the mainstream media is controlled by BlackRock, and getting featured in any news outlet, magazine, or publication would be no challenge for them. One major reason for this secrecy is that scandals are the only thing that could stand in the way of BlackRock's goals. If no one knows about you, that no scandal can do any harm to you. In August 2020, BlackRock became the only foreign company in the world to invest in China's mutual funds. No other company in the world, especially American companies, have been allowed to invest in China's mutual funds. And do you know which Chinese company BlackRock first invested in? It was Hikvision. Hikvision is a security surveillance company that has this shadow software that can take anyone's photo or video and pull up that person's entire history and data. And right now, only the Chinese government has access to this software. As BlackRock continues to take over companies at an incredible pace, its influence will only keep growing in the coming days. And what this really means is that we're moving towards a future where companies will be more powerful than countries. Our politics, society, and culture won't be controlled by votes anymore. They'll be controlled by investment boards. And all of this will be in the hands of just one company and one man. How dangerous it will be for for one company and one man to have this much power and control? Only time will tell. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I have many more interesting topics lined up, so your support is really important. And if you have any suggestions, do let me know in the comments. Take care of yourselves.